Just in our lifetime, in the last 20 years, the obesity rate in America has doubled, leading to a spike in chronic and fatal diseases. What has changed is the content of our processed food with the depletion of fiber in our healthy diet. Adding fiber to our diet can possibly reverse this trend. Many of the chronic diseases that we have now were not prevalent until the 20th century. Around this time, fiber was an essential part of our diet up until this point. Around this time, we developed a new milling technique that removed fiber from whole grain to produce inexpensive white flour. The steady loss of fiber in our diet has adversely affected our bodies. I have read a number of books on fiber and a number of books on the history of fiber and its decrease in the American diet. I've also found that increasing fiber in my diet has helped tremendously. I've maintained a healthy weight and I have not been sick in over 10 years. Hopefully that's not a coincidence. My purpose is to persuade you guys to increase the fiber in your diet. I will explain how a small change can be beneficial while giving you ways to do so. As Americans, we have embraced on-the-go food, and in turn, we have become larger individuals each year. As a nation, we are getting larger and larger each year. According to Jay Anderson, in an article titled Dietary Fiber in 1970s in Africa, a study showed that diseases such as heart disease, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, colon cancer, appendicitis, varicose veins, and obesity was not prevalent here where he did his study in Africa. Why, you ask? Well, as you can see on the standard American diet, 60% is based on breads, pasta, rice, and potatoes. Pretty much carbs is what our diet is based on. 60%. Their intake of carbs was based on high fiber and low refined carbs, while ours is probably the opposite. We're 60% high refined carbs and low fiber intake in our diet. So as you can see, there's no, you should see the reason why we are getting larger as Americans, so compared to when that study was done in Africa. Another reason is we do eat a lot more fast and processed food as the years have gone along. And I mean, it's so easy to just go by McDonald's and get something to eat, you know, when you don't feel like cooking dinner. I mean, it's really easy, but it takes its toll day after day or every other day or every week. Just it compounds itself. Also, obesity has been found to be the major cause in 2 of the leading reasons for death in America: heart disease and cancer. That's startling, because food is the main contributor to, you know, our diets is the main contributor to heart disease and cancer. Stephen Ehrlich said that the average American only consumes 15 grams of fiber a day, which is very low, meaning that we take in some things that may be sugar, more carbs that we may not need. You have heard many things that has caused Americans to become larger over time. So let me give you some solutions to this problem. We need to increase the consumption of fiber in our diet. How? How do we do this? Well, we can start with all natural foods, fruits, veggies, nuts, beans, anything that says 100% whole grain or 100% whole wheat is pretty much. Look at the fiber label and you'll see it has high fiber, and that's good for you. Bran has a high fiber content, and it's found in oatmeal, Fiber One bars, and they're all good for breakfast. According to J.L. Slavin of the American Dietary Association, women need to have an average of 25 grams of fiber taken in daily, and men around 38 to 40 grams taken in daily. To do that, you can increase your intake of fiber by 5 grams each day, but be careful, because you need to drink a lot of water while increasing that fiber, that intake. And you may have to take a gas reliever to counteract some of the bloating you may have associated to the fibers. Another thing we can do is decrease. Like I said before, we can decrease our fast food and processed food intake. That won't be hard. I mean, if you say you go to if you go out to eat 3 times a week, just decreasing it 1 time a week over months, over years, can lead to a very beneficial change. The minor changes that I have introduced can lead to some very beneficial changes in your life. The change to a high fiber diet can lead to weight loss and the prevention of disease. In the article, Obesity and Overweight for Professionals, a high fiber diet was linked to 40% lower coronary heart disease and cancer in the individuals that were tested. That's startling, you know. To me it is, you know. Adding more fiber to your diet can help you reduce your hunger. It can help slow the absorption of sugar, cholesterol, and insulin in your body, which also in turn decrease your need to eat, which helps you lose weight. If you do not believe in what I've told you about fiber so far, don't worry. Here's the recap. We have learned many ways that a decreased amount of fiber in our diet can be detrimental. Changes to the way our food is processed is one of the major causes. Fortunately, we can add a little fiber to our diet to reverse the trend of these changes that have caused. During the past 20 years, Americans have been getting larger, as we all know. An increase of fiber in our diet is greatly beneficial by helping control our body weight and prevent diseases. I know firsthand that changing the way we can eat can be a little challenging, but think of the possible benefits that it can pose. 1 or 2 small changes in our diets can result in a lifestyle change that you'll never forget, hopefully. So let's all get out and see what a little fiber can do.